Why isn't anything happening?
It says it's being sent to Facebook.
I'm not seeing that.
It looks like it's working on my end where the little,
Okay,
yeah, the little,
apparently it's recording. Okay, great. Hi, I'm
Mhm.
Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. I'm excited to share with you the speaker portion of our Connections After Hours gathering of the On Purpose Woman Global Community. Bethany Kennedy is speaking on resilience through grit, grace, and gratefulness. Bethany is mom to 8 children, wife to the most amazing guy alive, a financial professional, and a dream sparker. She's co-founder of TrueAbundance.us, defining what it means to achieve success by inspiring you to live in true abundance in all areas of your life, spiritual, physical, relational, and financial. She will help you to recall your calling and make it your living. Bethany, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you, Jenny. I'm super excited.
Okay, well, you have the stage.
Awesome. Thank you. I am thrilled to be speaking to you tonight. I'm Bethany Kennedy, and I'm in Birch Bay, Washington. I want to share with you my story of how I came about into my purpose. I would have to say when I was really little, I was like 3 or 5 years old, and my mom said that all I wanted to do was sing. And I appreciate Mary tonight. I know that not everybody on Facebook could see, but the different people that are here tonight have all spoken into our lives before we got here. And I just want to encourage that if anyone hasn't come to this global meeting and they have ever wanted to, this is such an amazing community. And I just want to say that up front. And we speak into each other's lives. And you do go deep, and there's a connection here. And when I share my story of this child who wanted to sing, I tear up because that was always my purpose. And yet, that purpose I have let go of, and I have not worked toward that purpose. And then I have discovered later on in my life what this other purpose I have, which is being a financial professional. This is the last thing I wanted to do when I was a little girl. So it's very interesting how that purpose that I have resisted most of my life is actually became my purpose. And it is a passion and it is a motivator to help other people understand the importance of taking care of yourself financially and your family financially. And I will go into that later. My third purpose was always to be a mom, and I achieved that. I have amazing, amazing kids. And of course, being married to the amazing, most amazing guy alive, it's hard not to have amazing children, right? And so we homeschool, and that's always, always a dream, always my purpose was to teach. And I love it. Dream spark. When I talk about being the dream sparker, I have always wanted to speak into women's lives, teenage girls, especially young women, women who are starting over, women who need to know who they are and that they are amazing and that they are perfect in the way that they are. I want to speak, I've always wanted to speak into their life and say, I am with you and you are not alone. And so I am doing that now also. So when I speak about today, December 11th, 2024, and I think about last year in 2023 and what I hoped that would be in 2024, I would have to say it's not what I wanted. I wanted to be so much further on in my financial journey. I wanted to be closer to what my goals were. But the journey that I took intuitively actually transformed me into the better version of myself than what I could ever imagine being. I got to the point where I actually really liked myself. I like being around myself. And that was not really, I mean, I had always worked on myself, but it wasn't um, I wasn't my favorite person to be around. And that's difficult when you're alone and that's your only choice. And it wasn't like the best scenario. So as I set the stage there, I'm going to take you through some memories of mine. Because what we have in our life are our decisions. We have our beliefs, our decisions, and um, we have our actions that we can decide. So when we decide and we go into action, that's something that we can be in charge of. But our circumstances, sometimes we feel locked in them, but we're really not locked into our circumstances as much as we think we are. So I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to show you of times in my life where I made decisions. So the first one was I wanted to sing. Well, my mom told me I couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, but I wanted to sing. And I prayed for the first time, and she said, the Lord gave you a voice. That was my first decision. I wanted that. My second decision is I wanted a soulmate. And I remember going through what I call a dream spark that was like a group dream spark. And we got perspective, and I got a list of kind of the steps to go that I went through, where it was words that didn't necessarily describe step by step, but I knew what those words symbolized intuitively as I was going. Next, there was the decision that was probably one of the most defining decisions of my life. It was about 20 years ago, and we were heading into a financial crisis as a family, and we didn't really know that we were. And it was like placed on our heart by God, like, you're going to go through this really tough financial time, and you can choose to trust me and I'll provide for you, or you can just kind of keep doing it your way and just see how it works out. But if you choose now, I'm going to make it like easier on you because you're going to be going through it intentionally rather than just as a circumstances. And so we made the decision that we were going to go through a financial hardship. I will be honest with you. I thought that financial hardship was going to be about 3 or 4 months, like 20 years. We were provided for. We did go through homelessness. We never were hungry. We always had some sort of roof over our head. But my purpose was to help people stay out of poverty. My purpose is to show people how to avoid homelessness. And now it's become clear that I had to go through that in order to help other people. And through it all, we always knew this was what our calling was. And I have to tell you, if you're scared about walking into your purpose, like you won't have enough money to survive, if you knew that you're walking in your purpose and it is a gift from God, you will be provided for in every way. And I will tell you stories. 10 people in our family, 11 when my mom lived with us. We had people, one person invite us, two different people invited us into their homes to live with them for months and took care of us. as we were getting on our feet. We just went through the housing crisis. We just kept hitting it. And with a big family, you couldn't get a house with a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And the places that we lived didn't have septic systems, and you couldn't rent just a smaller room. I mean, it was just very interesting how we figured out the system and how people get caught in that housing crisis if it hits them just right, no matter what they do. There's so many different things that can send you into a financial crisis that you have no idea. And it's very, very hard to get out of it because it's episodic. And so I want to encourage you that there's always a way out. There was a time where it was a January, and we had until February to be out of this house. And there was no prospects whatsoever. And I remember my husband and I leaned on the kitchen counter. I came downstairs, leaned on the kitchen counter with him, and I said, okay, we have a month and we just need to make a decision. That's all there is to it. We just have to decide. And I said, I found this one house. It's for sale, and it's not possible because we can't buy a house. We have a little bit of money, but not like the rent that was at that time, which was, like over $2,500, but we could maybe get something else. And so he said, okay, show me the house. And I said, okay. I showed him the house. And from the time that I had looked at it last, it went from sale to rent in our price range. And so that was December. And in January, we moved into that house. So we actually moved out before we had to like freak out and figure out where we were going in February. And that brought us to the county that we're in now. So that was really like, oh, wow, it's just a decision. So then when I kept looking back in my life, I realized every time we just decided to make a decision, it worked out. And it came fast. So when we rented that house, we were there for 6 months. And the landlord raised the rent from $1,600 to $2,200. And like for the next month, we had to pay for it. It threw us back into that financial thing, and we were out again, homeless in a brand new county where we didn't really know anybody. So that started about, I think it was about 8 to 9 months that we went through homelessness again. And we were in emergency shelter, and it took them 8 months to get us into a house. And when we got into that house, it was supposed to be for a month. But because COVID hit and we found favor with the people, we ended up being there 2.5 years. During that time, I had worked at a place in an RV resort where I sold memberships for RV resorts out of a retail satellite store, which was Camping World. So one day I get a call from my boss and the RV resort saying, you don't need to come into work tomorrow. We sold the resort and everybody's getting laid off, and we don't need the sales and marketing anymore. And since I worked through the Camping World, they hired me at Camping World in parts and service. As I was in parts and service at Camping World, someone came up to me and said, you're really kind, you're great in customer service, and I have an opportunity for you. Well, I had been waiting for that opportunity for about 3 months. You see, I sat in my RV because we are in an RV now because we realized that the housing market was not for us. So we were able to get an RV, and I was about 48 years old and 51 now. And I sat down and I said, I'm never going to get to my dreams unless I go into financial services. I hate money. I hate financial services, but it's the only way out. I can't go back to school. I don't want to go back to school. I know nothing about financial services, but I need to teach people about financial services. And so I wrote down everything I wanted in a business. And I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to pick my own hours. I wanted to work from home. I wanted to be able to travel. I didn't want to charge my clients. I wanted a big backer that would pay for everything and pay me huge commissions so that I would be rich and I would be able to take care of my mom and I would be able to take care of my brothers and anybody else that I needed to take care of. And I would be helping people avoid financial crises. So when I met Michael, who came to me and said, I'm in financial services, and I knew that he was a full-time RVer, so he worked out of his home. And I said, wow, I'm interested. And he said, okay, great. So then he introduced me to his director. And it turns out that I started in this financial services business, which is life insurance, where you don't charge your clients. The life insurance company actually pays you a commission. I'm a non-captive agent, so I represent 70 different companies. And so I'm my own boss. And I pick my hours. I don't have employees, but I can have business partners. And it's everything that I never thought existed. So now I am actually teaching financial education and I am helping people. So now it hits home. That was about 2 years ago when I started. One of my first clients, who is like my second mom, I got her all covered, and I got her covered by this February. And in March, she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And she died in October. And her daughter and her granddaughter will never know poverty because she's covered. And no one that I help will experience poverty. And it hit home. And I started to think, you know, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. How are we spending our today? We have to go through our purpose. We cannot think about how scared we are to talk to somebody about our business. We can't think about how maybe we'll say something wrong or I don't know enough yet. We need to reach out to people because our business saves lives. And yes, with healthcare, Cassandra, with storytelling, Sandra, you're changing the world. I mean, and Dr. Imaja, every moment you're just loving on people and you're taking care of yourself so you can help people. That's amazing. And Ginny, how you're spending your time with On Purpose Women, getting them together so they can support each other and change lives through their purpose. How amazing is that? And that's what we do. That's what we do as women. We're amazing. So today, I have to tell you, it's my friend's birthday. She would be 76. A month ago, my friend's baby died. She was only 2 weeks old. And today, one of my sisters in my insurance team, she passed away this morning. We only have today. So let me talk to you about your circumstances that might be holding you back. Your circumstances are only you. If you imagine yourself in a plane, and you've heard that where they say the oxygen masks drop and you put it on the other person first. Oh no, you put it on you first and then you put it on the other person. I say, forget the oxygen masks. You're the pilot. You get into the cockpit, you take it off autopilot and you turn it to where you want to go. It's up to you. You are in charge of your plane. You make the decision and you follow your dreams and your calling, and everything will fall into place. I guarantee it. You just follow the next step. So Ginny, I can take questions now. So this is a good time to stop the recording.
Wow. I would like to ask those of you who are here with us on Zoom to unmute yourself so we can let Bethany know how much we appreciate her story and her just everything that she shared with us tonight. So,
Beautiful,
Whoa,
beautiful.
wow. Oh,
no. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bethany, for showing us your grit, your grace, and your gratefulness, and for um, yeah, being so vulnerable and just this intimacy of sharing yourself with us. I appreciate it so much. And we're going to turn this off in just a minute and take some questions. But I want to thank anyone who's watching this live or the replay on our YouTube channel. Please check out all the other women on our channel who share their gifts, their wisdom, and their expertise to inspire you to move forward, whether it's with your business or other parts of your life. If you want to join us for one of our Zoom gatherings, you can find out information on that by going to my website, opwgc.com. And also Bethany's information, her website is in the text of this video as well. Thanks again for watching, everyone.